Well, what's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about another community quote that I've been seeing a ton, which is that Black Ops 6 looks like Cold War. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and as a big reminder, there's plenty of brand new article coverage going up on detonated.com for those who want to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty. Now, this is going to be another episode of my quote series where we take something pretty crazy that I've seen said quite a bit by the Call of Duty community, and we're going to go ahead and dissect that here in this video. Now, like I said in my recent zombie quote video, sometimes I'll see a quote and I'll actually agree with it, and I'll explain why in a full commentary. But this quote in particular, which is that Black Ops 6 looks like Cold War, is actually pretty funny to me. So something I've been saying on the podcast for the last year and a half is that something very unique about every Treyarch title, especially the recent Black Ops games, is that when it comes to how they actually put together a new release, it always seems like they have a huge emphasis on responding to the fan feedback they received for their last game. I really do believe that Black Ops 2 builds upon BO1, BO3 really builds upon BO2, and despite BO4 being controversial, it also did build a lot on BO3, and the list goes on. So if anything, you guys out there should want the game to be the absolute best and should want it to be better than the last few titles. Now, like I said before too, it's all subjective as to which title you guys prefer. You guys can prefer one game over another, but it's really weird to see comments here and there before games even been fully unveiled where people are automatically going ahead and saying, oh, it's not going to be better than an older Call of Duty. Oh, the golden era is over. We're never going back to the good old days again. To say that and to kind of set that standard before the game's even out is already kind of setting yourself up for disappointment and just honestly raising expectations to a level that probably aren't going to be met for you. Now, when you take a look at all the footage that we have of Black Ops 6 so far, whether it's from the trailers, whether it's from the direct event back at the Xbox Showcase, or even if you put together all the leaked footage that popped up from that leaked beta build over on Twitter, Reddit, wherever you guys find it, when you put all that together, it's very clear that Treyarch makes very different artistic choices compared to other dev studios that work on Call of Duty. Black Ops always has more of like a retro feel and isn't really rooted in realism like Modern Warfare is. So if you're looking for pretty graphics, you'll find that in games like Modern Warfare. But when you're looking for something more saturated, something more colorful and vibrant, that's when you can go to Black Ops and find that experience right away. And it's not to say that the graphics look bad or that the models look outdated or like they're from last gen. Things in Black Ops 4, Cold War, and Black Ops 6 look very damn real. The graphics do look impressive, but the thing is, the artistic choice surrounding a Treyarch Call of Duty isn't necessarily the same as Modern Warfare or hell, even Warzone. I also said this back when Modern Warfare 3 released a couple of months ago. I'm like, look, the game takes place about less than a year after MW2, so the era is the same, hence why the game generally looks similar. Black Ops 6 takes place in the 90s, whereas Cold War was in the 80s, so there won't be too much of a jump, but you can bet a game like Cold War or BO6 would absolutely look pretty different from what is rumored to be a Black Ops 2025 futuristic title that'll release a year from now. Now, I think this goes for more than just the gaming industry. People have a real big tendency to judge something before they've gotten all the facts. In this case, to judge a game before they've really seen the full reveal, COD Next footage, or play the beta for themselves. Not sure what the obsession is with just being overly negative or setting the bar that the game's already not going to be better than a game that you prefer that came out in 2015. Stuff like that is frustrating. It's also kind of like when people comment on my videos without actually watching them, but they just read the title or see the thumbnail and then just comment something negatively right away. And I always reply, I mean, just watch the video and you'll probably disagree with what you just wrote. So either way, people that are claiming the game looks bad based on leaked footage that was obviously recorded on choppy PCs and bugged capture cards and in, awful resolution, those same people are going to be playing the beta anyway. They're probably going to buy the Vault Edition, and they're likely going to be blown away when they actually try the game out on a current gen piece of hardware or on a PC. And that's all I could say for right now. But like I'll always reiterate too, the engine also doesn't mean anything. If anything, it's good that Black Ops 6 is on a unified engine so that if any help is needed, other devs can quickly help out while using the same set of tools. And with the unified engine comes a smoother Warzone integration and, in all honesty, better connectivity when jumping from single player to MP to zombies to Warzone, whatever the case may be. Some people often say, oh, well, if Black Ops 6 is on the Modern Warfare engine, it's just going to be Cold War plopped on the MW engine. That's it. But shall I remind you again, it is the COD unified engine that every game is going to use moving forward, not just Modern Warfare. But I also found it funny that Cold War's multiplayer was really well received for the most part. It didn't launch with nearly enough 6v6 maps, but that problem was quickly solved with the post-launch season, and the only real complaints Cold War MP had was that it just didn't feel like Modern Warfare, didn't play like Warzone, wasn't on the same engine, which ironically is like the opposite argument now for for BO6 according to leaked footage, and had people complaining, I think rightfully so, about weapon balancing like for the Tech 9 and for the Marshals. Weapons got a bit tough during the later half of Cold War cycle, but the fact that it was the last arcadey, classic feeling COD before the Warzone era, or kind of right in the middle of it, but it was the only different feeling COD compared to MW19, Warzone, Vanguard, and now the new Call of Duty titles. So to have Black Ops 6 feel like Warzone a bit, even though it's going to have some drastically different gameplay mechanics, which are going to integrate with Warzone later, it's still going to be more on par with what we just got in the last couple of years with the Black Ops spin on it. Now, my response to people that say the game just looks like Cold War has honestly always been good. I hope it looks like Cold War. I hope it plays like Cold War, but you can bet that with a longer dev cycle and the unified engine, the power of that, it's going to be a much better game than Cold War. And even the soundtrack that leaked out sounds like a mix of Cold War and BO2. I'm like, wow, chef's kiss. I mean, things just keep getting better with Black Ops 6. But jumping into some other features that are apparently coming back from Cold War, which I couldn't be more thrilled about. First off, this could be a placeholder, but according to the video we got to see of the new COD HQ overhaul, my full breakdown on that is going to be linked below. I talked about that yesterday. We get to see an operator walking in the menus of Black Ops 6 multiplayer. So that's something that was done very well in Cold War. Sadly, has been absent from both MW2 and 3, but it's like I've been saying before, especially with the addition of theater mode, I think if they're going to bring back some really cool and iconic features from older Black Ops games and they put it in BO6, now all of that is on the unified engine. So this could mean great features like this could also get brought back in non-Treyarch titles under COD HQ, but hopefully this isn't a placeholder. I absolutely love the fact that if you went idle for like, I think it's a minute, then the HUD and UI would completely disappear and you could just see your operator walking through the menus. It's also been reported, according to leaker Bob Network over on Twitter, that Mastercrafts are apparently going to keep their look even when you change attachments out within Black Ops 6. This is actually something that wasn't featured in Cold War, but I believe there was a Mastercraft in Vanguard that allowed you to do this, and we know the weapon vaults from MW2 and 3 also let you change the attachments of the blueprints without losing the look of that blueprint, right? We've seen this very rarely in the past, but this is a massive change for Black Ops 6 cosmetics, and I'm sure will be in effect for the Vault Edition Mastercrafts that we'll be able to use during the beta, in which we can talk more about this closer to August 30th. But I'm not sure if this is going to be a feature for all Mastercrafts going forward or just select few. I'm sure they'll try to make this a feature for as many Mastercrafts as possible, but if it's for every single one, then this is a crazy good change that responds perfectly to Cold War cosmetic feedback. Now, I'll also add real quick, I'm also hopeful that for zombies, there's going to be an apply blueprint feature, because that was excellent in Cold War Zombies. Now, something you guys probably already know about is that sprays and emotes are also going to be returning in Black Ops 6. We can see on some of the zombie HUD images that have been posted officially, at least, that yeah, you'll be able to scroll through and select what sprays and emotes you want to use even while playing zombies, which wasn't really offered in Black Ops 4 and was very limited over in Cold War. So this is going to be great. I think if anything, it's going to replace a lot of the filler that you guys might not be a fan of. So definitely expect sprays and emotes to be featured in various bundles, battle pass sectors, event rewards, and other bonuses they can release. But despite them just being cosmetics, I think it's also always added some cool personality, whether you're in the winner's circle, whether you're in a lobby and you're able to do emotes. It always makes the interactions with random players around the world that much more fun. And I think it's also been mentioned somewhere that best play from Cold War is coming back, but apparently does emphasize the final kill on round-based modes, such as search and destroy. So there's definitely features from Cold War that should be brought back, but could be brought back to be even better, and that's certainly Treyarch's goal here with Black Ops 6. Now, a question I commonly get in a lot of my videos is whether or not gifting bundles will ever get added back into the game. Ever since the release of COD HQ and MW2 overall, we haven't seen a feature that allows players to gift bundles to other people or to support their favorite creator and input a code before purchasing a bundle in the item shop. For some reason, this was a feature from MW19 all the way to the end of Vanguard, so the Warzone 1 era. For some reason though, none of this ended up returning in COD HQ. So apparently, and keep in mind, this could be placeholder because sometimes things that get data mined are left over from older COD titles. This might not be something that reflects actual content in Black Ops 6. According to leakers though, the ability to gift bundles may be coming back. And I think that's interesting because I think there was an issue, especially in like Cold War and Vanguard, where unreleased bundles were being force loaded into people's games, and then hackers were then gifting those bundles to other players out there. So that could sometimes create issues. And I can kind of understand why they maybe didn't bring this feature back because of that, but I'm sure they'll end up finding a way to better incorporate a feature like this in Black Ops 6. How would you guys like Code DK in the item shop though? That would be absolutely crazy and very clean looking for some Black Ops 6 bundle support. Now, it's also been leaked out that a music player is set to return in Black Ops 6. Again, this is unconfirmed, but I'm sure some features like this are going to be announced closer to the beta, probably during COD Next, or even a point after that before the full launch. Music player was awesome in Cold War. I mean, there's so many banger tracks from the Black Ops series that I wouldn't mind swapping out some of the amazing new music in the game and occasionally putting on some nostalgic sounds like some of the music we had in Black Ops 3, in Black Ops Cold War. I mean, there's so many tracks that need to be appreciated a lot more, and I honestly think a music player should just be a staple for COD HQ in general, not just something that Treyarch does every so often. So let's hopefully see the music player return in Black Ops 6. Hopefully it's not just something that was left over and mistakenly thought to be some returning feature for Black Ops 6. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, the last thing I'll end with is in regards to a prestige shop. So considering the info that we have officially so far, which is that day one you get 10 prestiges and a level 1000 grind, considering they've already mentioned that there is going to be some type of rare set of rewards for hitting the max rank. It's unclear if you have to hit prestige 10 first, then you can actually earn progress towards those rewards. Considering that information, would not be shocked if a prestige shop of some sort or something similar gets added in right away at launch, or at least no later than season 1, so that the milestones you start hitting as you rank up all the way to maybe level 1000 and beyond can start rewarding you with maybe a free in-game currency or some type of stepping stone, so that you can start unlocking maybe rare camos, blueprints, and maybe even legacy content like calling cards and emblems that we already saw incorporated in Black Ops Cold War. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. How similar do you guys think Black Ops 6 is going to be to Cold War? What features from Treyarch's last game should make their way back into BO6? Plus, let me know how you're feeling about all the features that are currently rumored. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.